Hi there, how are you? Just a real quick live. I say a quick live, I'll probably stay on for about an hour. But yeah, just coming on to do a little bit of drawing, maybe do my sketchbook tour that kind of failed badly yesterday because the internet gave up on me. But I've got a few sketchbooks. Which one should we go through? There's my freestyle. I'm gonna do a bit of drawing in there. Finish off a few little doodles in there. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but yeah, I'll do something in there later, so I'll keep that handy. There's my black and white sketchbook, a classy Artgecko. This isn't the tour, by the way. This isn't the sketchbook tour. I will take my time a little bit more than that. Let's just check everything's working. Is this the sketchbook? This is my current sketchbook. I'll just put that away somewhere where it's not going to fall on me. And yeah, I'll time a little bit more. This is my sketchbook. So right, the plan is to give away this sketchbook. Okay, it's finished. With, I think there's 30 pages in these, isn't there? So there's 60 doodles in there. Yeah, sketchbook's finished, so let's give it away to somebody who wants it. If you want to be in with a chance of winning it, then all you got to do is support me on Ko-fi. The Ko-fi link's in the comments below or in the video description, the live description. But yeah, let's do a real quick sketchbook tour. So 30 pages. I'll try and do like a few seconds per page, so we're not spending too long on doing the sketchbook tour, because I really want to do some drawing as well while I'm online. So yeah, this is my Artgecko Freestyle sketchbook, which I use for all my Posca drawings. And yeah, each page is one of the lessons that I do in my online Korp Academy. And yeah, each lesson's about an hour long, so each doodle takes about an hour to do, but that's a step-by-step lesson, you know. So I'm drawing a line, and then students are drawing a line as well. So in reality, each one of these drawings is probably about a 20-minute, half an hour drawing. So all nice and simple, really quick to finish off. One of the things I do though is I teach people how to draw like other artists, and one of my favourite artists is this guy, Jetpacks and Roller Skates. And so yeah, just using two colours, look how good that looks with a skull, a couple of skulls in fact, but yeah, English green and then the apple green over the top. And yeah, I'm going to whip through the sketchbook, so if you've got any questions or suggestions for things I can draw in future sessions, then please let me know. But yeah, I just want to show you all the different pages, all the different things I've drawn. Anything that kind of stands out to me, I'll probably talk about it a little bit more. Stuff like these, zombies. I love drawing zombies because it doesn't matter if you make mistakes on them. There's another artist that we've learned to draw, like John Kelly Green. Really love that kind of retro style. No black outlines on that as well. That always feels a bit weird, not putting a black outline on, but there you go. It kind of works, I think. More zombies. Doodle by Joe Olson. I really like this, like, using ruby red in the mouth, ruby red, pink, and yellow in the mouth, and then all the blues on the outside. I did it on this one as well, just like that ruby red inside the mouth. Just looks really nice, I think. Dog from Dog Week, more dogs, Korp dogs. More to come on that another time. And you can see how far back this sketchbook's going, because this is probably from Halloween last year. So we did a week's worth of Halloween doodles. Then we did skulls. Look at these. Like I say, they only take an hour to do, tops. And if you want access to any of these workshops, all the workshops I do, they get recorded and they get put on my website. So there's two ways you can get access to them. One is you can become a member on Ko-fi. Link again in the description below. And on Ko-fi there's about 100 videos at the moment. I put 20 on there every month, 20 new videos on every month as I'm recording them, and then there's 100 videos in like the archive, if you like, so you just have to scroll back through the posts and you'll find some of these in amongst there. Alternatively, you can join on my website, which is a little bit more expensive, but you get 600, I think it's about 600 videos now, drawing tutorials, 1 hour drawing tutorials with all these kind of things in there as well. Ko-fi's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more convenient as well, because it's more on demand, whereas on my website that's more for the live session. So if you want to if you've got a strict time and you know you're one of those people that needs a deadline to actually act and do something, then yeah, join on the website, and you'll be able to join in with some live sessions. And essentially, I just do them on Zoom. So we can all kind of see each other's artwork as well. Yeah, we'll be into like Chinese New Year. So we've gone past Halloween, we're into Chinese New Year now. So which is why I do the rabbit. Back onto zombies. Again, like I say, I love drawing zombies. I did a live broadcast with a friend, which is where I drew this ice lolly character. Then we did bears, koala bear. Back onto robots again. Another robot. This is one of my favourite kind of doodles. So what you kind of do is you just draw one little doodle like that, nice and easy. It's based on like an Elise Gravel kind of style drawing. So little kind of bit of Posca paint in there. Just leave the eyes out plain. Colour that bit in, and then with a thin black pen just put in little dots for the eyes, capital H for the mouth, U for the nose, L shapes for the legs, go as many as you want, and then just repeat that process loads and loads of times with a couple of different colours, and that's the kind of thing you get. And if ever I can't think of what to draw, that's the kind of thing I draw. I did one in this sketchbook as well. Look. Look how good it looks when you've got a black and white version compared to a colour version. I really like that. Then we went into Borderlands week, so I did a few Borderlands. Loved drawing this bit. All this kind of mucky stuff down here, using loads of different yellows and browns. Just getting really messy with the paint before it dries. Dinosaurs, we did some dinosaurs. These two, like, are my most popular reels on Facebook. I don't really understand why. I don't think they're my best pieces of work, but for some reason people kind of resonate with these two. These two, and there's a pair coming up that seem to get all the shares. It's really bizarre. But yeah, these are dinosaurs. Then back onto rabbits, so we must have been going through Easter. Yeah, there's an egg. So we're going through Easter there. What have we got there? Oh yeah, it was a retro week. So we did some like little retro characters, or retro style drawings, all these like simple shapes, simple lines. Owls, what was that? That was things you find in the woods, I think. So I did an owl, and I think this character is like meant to be a squirrel. Again, another John Kelly Green character, and another one that I did in this sketchbook because I really enjoyed drawing. Couldn't decide what colour to do it in, so did it in both. That's also available as one of the live streams as well. So if you scroll through all my live streams, you'll see that one and how we drew it. So even though I said this sketchbook is kind of finished, it kind of isn't as well. So we've got like the odd page that's not got much on it. So feel free, if you do win it, feel free to kind of fill in the gaps. There you go. There's the pear. He's told you about the pear. Again, another popular video. I don't understand why. It's a bit of a weird one. I got a comment from somebody on Facebook that said, what did they say? It was something along the lines of the more you drew this, the more I hated it, but the execution was really good. And I'm still trying to figure out if that was a compliment or an insult. I don't really know. I kind of think, execution was really good, so I'm kind of happy with that, but hated it. But are they meant to hate it? Maybe that's the intention that I'm trying to get across, is that you're not meant to like my artwork. Only certain people are meant to like it. Anyway, watermelon piece. It was the Chelsea Flower Show, so I did some flowers. Tui from Little Shop of Horrors. And then I went into like a sea creatures one, so I did this version of the creature from Black Lagoon, and colour version of that was, so you know, I'm giving away stuff every month for all my members to say thank you to my members on Ko-fi. I'm giving away an art bundle, and the colour version of this, there we go, colour version of that is was won by Kirsty from Northumberland in the UK for June's giveaway. I'm also sending Kirsty a sketchbook, an Artgecko sketchbook like this, but a branded one. So it's got, see, like it's got the little Artgecko logo just there. On the front of the other sketchbook, it's got a really nice Doodle with Korp logo just there. So she's getting that blank sketchbook, no doodles inside that one. She's getting that. She's getting what else is she getting? A bunch of badges, a bunch of stickers. So a couple of my sticker packs and a few from my collection as well. And what else? Oh yeah, Doodle with Korp cap. One of these. She's getting a brand new one there. Limited edition Doodle with Korp cap. So yeah, Kirsty, if you're watching, I've not sent it yet because it's still here in my studio, but I will get it out to you pretty soon. Okay, that was last month's pack. This, like I say, this month's pack is going to include that sketchbook that I've just done the tour of. So if you fancy the idea of owning that, then please become a member, and yeah, well, you could be one of the winners. I'm just going to get some prompt cards out if I can find them. So if I'm struggling for what to draw, I'll always grab out a bunch of prompt cards. So these are my prompt cards, look. And essentially all they are is just little cards with little doodles and things on. So rather than me having to think about what I'm drawing, I can just shuffle these up, see what comes out of the pack, just draw that. I'm a great believer that inspiration finds you working, so yeah, just start working, and then as soon as you've started, something will come along that you kind of think, okay, I can draw that. So yeah, I thought what I'd do is I'd just do a couple more bits inside my sketchbook to maybe fill this page. Not sure what other. I'm kind of thinking that I'm just going to keep it with black and emerald, this one. But yeah, we'll see. Can I zoom in a little bit there? That's better, isn't it? So yeah, this is where what I'd do is I'd just use those prompt cards, whatever comes up, draw what's on there. So this character, I've already kind of drawn this one to a certain extent. It looks a little bit like this one down here, but let's go and put them in again. Let's warm up my pen. Looked a bit dirty for some reason. It's got a bit of black on it. I don't know why. If you are tuning in, thank you. It's a bit of an unusual time. I don't usually draw at this time of day. I'm usually doing emails or something boring. But I figured I've got like an hour to kill. I'll just quickly jump on, see who's around. If you are around, it'll be great. Do me a favour, just like or share the live to get it out there a little bit. I've only recently started streaming again, so any help I can get for getting a bit of publicity would be good. Hey Dylan, thank you mate. I'll be honest mate, I don't know what is my work anymore, because I started off as like, when I started as a full-time artist, I was a stencil artist back in the day, And then for the sake of convenience, I moved on to becoming a marker pen artist, so I was just drawing with marker pens all the time. And then ended up drawing like these worm characters. Here we go, one here, look, drawing these kind of things. That's my thing. That was my own personal character. But then I started teaching people how to draw as well, and then which is where all this kind of stuff came from, just teaching other people how to draw. So yeah, I don't know what is my work anymore. I think it's a little bit of a mix of them all, I suppose. Either way, I should just take the compliment, thank you. What's good as well, what I enjoy about doing a live session like this, a live stream, is I can mix, I can twist the book around. When I'm teaching, what I do is I leave the book, I straighten up the book like that, and then just leave it like that. So any line I draw, I've got to kind of twist my hand around. The reason I do that is so that when I produce the reels look really nice. Because the sketchbook stays the same, because the reel is like a 30-second time lapse of what I've done. See if I can dig one out actually. Yeah, there's one. So you see how I just keep the sketchbook facing upwards all the time, which is a bit tricky because you kind of always got to twist yourself around quite a lot. But it makes for a really nice reel. If I twist the sketchbook around all over the place, which I used to do, and then turning it into like a 30-second reel, it looks terrible. It just gives people a fit. But yeah, this is my most recent drawing, or one of the most recent ones. Really enjoyed doing that. And cheers for the follow, mate. Appreciate that. Follows, shares, anything like that. It's all good. Have a look in the group description, the video description. That's where the Ko-fi link is. That's the best place that you can kind of support what I'm doing, get involved in what I'm doing. Wow, big leg there. So yeah, all I'm doing with this, just two colours. I'm using PC3M pens. One black, one emerald. And yeah, just drawing each little character as we go along. Done that one. Next one is, okay, so these are kind of like filler characters, so they're only meant to kind of go in like little tiny gaps. I usually leave these prompt cards right until the end. But let's chuck a few of those in. Oh, let's see, I've got one already just there. Let's go for the flame up there. So it's got a guess something like that. There's the eye. Haven't really left myself much space for the legs on this one, so I'm just going to put one there, one there. Let's give it a bit of fur. The eye looking at a different character. Okay, I've kind of done most of those characters in there, so I'm going to get rid of that card. Next one. Have I done this one? I've not done this one. Let's go and do this one. Should I do this one? I might do this one in black. Fit in there quite nicely, I reckon. Let's do it around about here. Yeah, looks right. Spiral bound sketchbooks look nice. Just such a ball ache to draw in. Constantly trying to avoid that spiral bit. Okay, let's put an arm in there. A couple of ears. This one's got like one eye with two pupils. I'm just going to give it one eye with one eye. One eye with one pupil. So right. Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate that, mate. There's Kurt on. Kurt is on Facebook. And says, keep up the great work. Love it. Thank you, mate. Already I'm getting bored with colouring this in. I've only been doing it a few seconds. I quite enjoy drawing. I'm not a huge fan of colouring in. I get a little bit bored with colouring in. I know some people are like serial colour inners. Just love sitting there and get a lot out of it. The relaxation of just getting a job done. I just get bored with it a bit too quick. Have to start drawing the next one. I think that's why I like drawing these little simple characters, because I've only been doing it a few seconds and already I'm bored. Imagine what I'd be like if I was doing it for a couple of hours. And watching from Perth. Love your work. Sad I missed the start. Looking awesome. Oh mate, you've not missed much. This was already kind of started before I'm just finishing off the page really. I was only really coming on to tell you about the giveaway and the Ko-fi stuff and do a little sketchbook tour, but I figured while I'm here do a little bit of drawing as well. I think I will try to be a bit more structured with my live streams, so if anybody wants to kind of join and draw along with me, they can do, rather than my method at the moment is just go live, see who turns up. Let's put some little fingers in it. Fingers there. Thumb in there. Finger, finger, finger. Yeah, my method at the moment is just turn up and see who else turns up. But I probably should sort of try and get a bit more of a structure going, so I'm turning up at certain times. Don't know. So yeah, I started this sketch. I went out into a coffee shop yesterday in my hometown. Plan was to finish off a page, but met somebody I knew there by chance. So I ended up just drawing like a couple of bits in the top corner. And yeah, what I like about this kind of sketching, I suppose, is that you can just pick it up and go with it any time. I didn't have the prompt cards with me yesterday. I just drew from memory. So all of this is like memory. So that's at the top there. We've already got that one in there. Just forgot how many eyes to put in. Let's get for the next one. Don't think I've got this one in there. Right, let's put this one in. Somebody mentioned that they'd like a video on how to make prompt cards. Because generally what I do with prompt cards is I don't know if they're accessible. down here somewhere. I've got loads. Oh man, I've just dropped loads. Oh no, I didn't drop loads. They're my prompt cards, look. Loads of them. And somebody said, yeah, maybe I could do like a video on how to make some prompt cards so that you've got your own. So yeah, I might do that. I think that could be good. Oh, Ange, did you just send some stars? Nice, thank you very much for that. That's really kind. I don't always, so yeah, I use a separate bit of software that kind of takes all the comments from, because I'm broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch at the same time. And yeah, the software I'm using just takes all the comments and puts them into one thing, one list. And yeah, I don't always get to see what, so all I can see is that you've made a comment, but it doesn't say what your comment was. So I had to go to Facebook and just seeing that you sent 99 stars. That's amazing, thank you. That's awesome. What was I doing? I was explaining about these prompt cards, yeah? So the main premise on the prompt cards is that, this is where they started from anyway, is that you get a body card. Body card looks like that, so it's just a nice simple body to draw, yeah? Loads of different bodies in there. But then you also get these like face cards as well. And then so what you do is you pick out a body card and you pick out a face card, and whatever random combination you get, oh, it's another face, look. Whatever random combination you get, you draw that as a character. So you could get that one day, you could get that another day, you could get something completely different. And it's yeah, it's just a nice way of drawing, because you've got no expectations, and it's like even though I've drawn probably about 100 or so prompt cards there's thousands of combinations because of the way they mix together. But yeah, video on how to do that coming up one day. Right, let's go and do this next character. So what I like about these characters is they are mainly just D shapes. A D shape like that, and then a circle just there, a smaller circle on top of it. Dodgy circle, that one. Yeah, it's just D shapes and circles, so you haven't got to remember too much about what you're doing. And then when you come to designing your own, all you got to remember is, right, put a D shape in, put a circle in, just change the size, change the D shape, whether it's pointing down or whether it's pointing up. You know, basic stuff. Bring that in there, bring this bit, whoop, whoop, like that. Throw it a mouth, let's give it a grumpy mouth. But yeah, you see how easy it is, look. D shapes, circles, sausage shapes, that kind of stuff. Colour it all in, leave a little space for the eyes, leave a little space for the mouth. Character done. And it's worth remembering as well, prompt cards are just there as a prompt, so you don't have to copy them perfectly. You can kind of do your own thing with it once it gets you started and you think, okay, I really like that character. So when I'm looking at this one, I'm kind of thinking, right, I'm not sure, the feet at the bottom might kind of get in the way of his ears a bit too much, so I might just move the feet out a bit to like there. So we've got a bit of a power stance going on. Likewise with the hairy bits at the top, I think I might bring them out to the side here instead. Yeah. So yeah, guess what I'm saying is you don't have to copy it perfectly, you just do your own thing. The one thing I am unsure about is whether I put on the teeth. So you see we've got this like jagged line for the teeth. I'm not sure whether to put the teeth in or just leave them blank or put them in black. There's a bit of me that thinks that I probably should get a fine liner, black fine liner, and put them in. Well, I think I'll do that actually. I'm just going to put in, I'm just going to try it. This is always my technique, my top tip, right, for drawing is just to try it out. Just take a risk. If it doesn't work, don't do it anymore. If it does work, carry on doing it. It's as easy as that. You're going to make some mistakes along the way, but that's fine. Especially with these Posca pens. You make a mistake with a Posca pen, you just wait for it to dry, you colour over the top of it. It's nice and easy. Oh, cheers, Benji. I mean, mate, you know it's easy. It is effortless. Hopefully I'll make it look effortless and teach it how to be effortless as well. I'm all about, you know, doing stuff that gives you like really good results instantly and without too much effort, so you can feel good about your creativity straight away. That's what I'm trying to do anyway with the classes. What do you think? Oh, it looks alright, doesn't it? Does it look alright? I don't know. I'm going to do some more anyway. The other thing as well is, you know, art is subjective. So even though I'll look at something and think, oh, I don't like that, somebody else is going to look at that thinking, actually, those teeth look really cool. Somebody else is going to look at those teeth and think, you ruined it. So, yeah, I shouldn't worry too much. I'm just going to put 2 teeth in there. What about that? Yeah, that looks alright. Talent you're just born with. So yeah, I kind of get you there. I think you can teach it. I love teaching people that say they can't draw. I love teaching them how easy it is to draw. And you know, we're never going to be doing like the most beautiful Michelangelo portraits or anything like that, but teaching little bits of creativity like that, most people can get their head around that. But yeah, I get the whole kind of naturally talented, but you're just born with it, because I do feel like I was kind of born with it. I don't know, I never really had to try too hard at being able to draw, which from one point was really good because it just came naturally, which was great. But the other thing was really bad because I never really pushed it either, so I never really tried that hard, so I became a little bit lazy with it as well. So it's like swings and roundabouts. Don't want you to feel sorry for me. Just me saying I'm lazy. But yeah, one of the things I did was this character that I draw all the time. I know what you think it looks like, but this character, where it came from was I wanted to show that I didn't understand why I was naturally talented. It's like almost like my right hand had its own entity, if that's the right word. It had its own kind of being. So what I did was I drew around my hand and drew little faces on each finger to kind of symbolise that they were alive and my fingers were alive and separate to me, and I didn't really understand why I was able to draw. So that's where that character kind of came from. Do you do the classes on weekends? I only get my boys the weekend. Heck, I would love to watch draw along, and yeah, teeth look wicked. I'm glad you like the teeth, mate. At the moment, I don't do any live classes at the weekends. I'm trying to, as much as possible, secure weekends for family time a little bit, but I think I will. Yeah, as you're doing actually. But I think it would be nice to be able to just jump on, even if I just did a live broadcast like this. Just jump on for a couple of hours out of my day. So yeah, watch this space, mate. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Tap the notifications bell, that kind of stuff. And then when I do start going live on a Saturday, you'll be there. Hopefully, it'll be convenient. Don't know. Haven't decided yet. We'll get there. Chris, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining in. Not 3 bad. Yeah. Cheers. Likewise, same with you. Benji loves the worm. Yeah, mate, I love the worm. It's got me where I am today. What I loved about the worm was I worked in I should draw. Let me draw while I'm talking. I worked in an office. I can draw and talk at the same time. I worked in an office, and so there was never any like commercial side to my artwork. I could just draw whatever I wanted, which was great, which is why this worm character just kind of took off, because I was like, I don't have to sell these pictures because I was making money with my day job. And yeah, that's so you know, I ended up making like drawing worms for a living. Got a few thousand followers on Instagram, and figured that's the way to go. But eventually, yeah, it did get to a point where, you know, I'd say like 90% of people are like, no, I don't like those characters. They're a bit weird looking. But then 10% that do like them, like really like them. So, you know, it's sort of, you just got to find your way as an artist. Right, we've got a little spider one now. Let's do a little spider. Main thing is just to make sure it's all dry as you're drawing. Alright, let's put this weird like plectrum style shape in. 4 eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left that a bit tight. What time is it? 12:44. Got 15 minutes and I'm going. No mouth on this little spider. Always looking for different things to draw as well, so if anybody has any ideas of the kind of stuff they want me to draw, I'm going to draw it on demand now, but you know, I'm always looking for themes for the week. So this week's theme in Korp Academy was this week's theme in Korp Academy is what is it? Don't hug me, I'm scared. I've got the artwork around here somewhere. Hang on. That's one of the pieces we drew in the Korp Academy this week, along with Yellow Guy. I don't know if anybody's seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's a terrifying program, but loads of cool stuff to draw from it. So yeah, there's Yellow Guy as well. So next week's theme is meant to be Popeye. I'll be honest, I'm not overawed with kind of drawing Popeye. It's quite a difficult one to draw. So yeah, like I say, I'm always looking for themes. So if you have any ideas, feel free to put it in the comments. You know, one of my themes for the week was drips. How to draw drips. I love doing a series of workshops that just tells people what the anatomy of a drip is. So we did like ice lollies, ice creams, pizzas, that kind of stuff. Hey Vortical, hope you're well, mate. At least I made the last 15 minutes in. Yeah, I mean, I was just saying earlier, Vortical, my streams are like all over the place at the moment. So you know, somebody else came on, I think it was Ange, came on earlier and said that she was gutted that she missed the start of the drawing. I was like, to be fair, I mean, I've only done that bit. This was all kind of on there already, so it's not like you're missing much. And I'll probably get to a point where I'm almost finished the sketch and then have to go. Will that bother you? I'm not quite finished, but I'm just going to disappear anyway. Not sure if I've got space for any more in there. Shall we see what other cards we've got? Regular Show. Yeah, I did. What's his name from Regular Show? Oh man, I did. So last year I did like a whole month of cartoons. So there was about 20. So a bunch of them are like 90s cartoons, but there was a bunch of more recent ones as well. A Regular Show was in there. I think that was in one of the sketchbooks that was given away last year as well to one of my winners on TikTok. So I haven't got it, but yeah, I did that. It's really bugging me that I can't remember his name. I don't want to Google it because I know it. I know it. If you know what I mean. Well, I'm going to turn the rest of these cards over and just see what's in there. Okay, I've done that one, just there. So I'm getting rid of that. What's going to fit? I'll probably just do that thing up in the top corner and then call it. But yeah, I did Regular Show. What else did I? Oh man, I can't remember. There was just so many in there. There's a little bit of me that is gutted that I gave the sketchbook away, because it's like now I can't just sort of go through it and, you know, just whip it out and show you now. Rigby, yeah, Rigby. Was Rigby the squirrel-looking one or the bird? Mordecai was the... Is it Mordecai? It was the bird, wasn't it? Oh, Matt Groening style. That's a good idea. So I've done Justin Roiland stuff. So we did like Solar Opposites and what's the other one he does? Rick and Morty. We did that one, but I've never done Matt Groening style. You know what the issue is, Vortical, is that the Simpsons characters are really simple shapes. And the simpler a shape, the more room for error there is. If you know what I mean, it becomes more obvious. Whereas if something's quite, fairly complicated, then it becomes, your little mistakes can get lost in there somewhere. Whereas if something's got to be clean and perfect, like the Simpsons characters, it's really difficult to feel good about that. If you make any mistakes, I usually tend to avoid recognisable characters as well. So I know I said I've just done loads of regular show stuff and things like that, but as a rule I generally try to avoid those, because I think if you draw it and it doesn't look exactly like what it's meant to look like, which is been drawn by a professional artist, then you end up getting a bit disappointed with it. And so, yeah, a lot of my workshops, as you'll know, I don't always show people exactly what they're going to draw, so whatever they draw is the first time they've seen it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's just one of the things I do from a feel-good point of view. I want people to come away from a workshop feeling good about what they've done, not feeling, right, I've spent an hour drawing and it doesn't look anything like Homer, it looks more like Barney or something like that. But on saying that, maybe I should just get over myself a little bit and just have a little go at a Simpsons week. What else did he do? Did he do Futurama as well? Is that Groening? So there's probably a few characters in there we could do. Popeye reaching for the spinach can while being covered by fun, cool, scary doodle creatures. My crazy idea, thank you. Yeah, I did. So, as you can see from most of my drawings, they are all kind of basic shapes. I use loads and loads of basic shapes in order to be able to kind of teach people how to draw. And Popeye doesn't have many of those basic shapes. There's loads of curves and in there, but everything's a little bit off and a little bit weird. The massive forearms, the big chin, the big double chin kind of coming up, the scrunched up face. There's just loads of areas that you can mess it up in there. But I'm going to give it a go. I did see somebody did a picture of Popeye. It was a newer kind of version, like a fan art version, which looked really cool. And instead of the anchor tattoo and things like that, it had other tattoos. And so there was loads of doodles all over Popeye's body, and I thought that looks pretty cool. I could probably do that. Disenchantment as well. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll do that for you, mate. I'll see when I've got a spare week. Or maybe we'll maybe just do a live stream at some stage and break it down, see if we can do something. Just having a quick look to see what's up next on my rota. So I've just done, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Last week was Drips, next week is Popeye. Then I'm drawing frogs. Somebody suggested frogs. Frogs, food and drink, cute stuff. Love bugs, hats, manga, Pixar, comics, horror, and then we've got a bit of space in October. So maybe we can draw Simpsons in October. I like to prep well ahead. Okay, right. With this picture, how long we've got? 8 minutes left before I have to shoot off. Once you've done all these big characters, what I tend to do then is just fill in all the gaps. I love a page filler, so I fill in all the gaps with either small characters or just loads of spots and stuff. So I'm just going to do that now. And don't think about it too much, just chuck the spots in. The only thing to think about is keeping it random. Best way to keep it random is to clump them up to have a little bit of a pattern to it. So do 2s and 3s together, so like one big, one small, like that. Yeah, horror should be good. I'm looking forward to the horror week. So I always kind of wanted Korp Academy. I didn't want it to be like a regular drawing class where everyone's drawing like bowls of fruit and, you know, nice stuff, landscapes, portraits, and flowers, and all that kind of nonsense. I wanted to do something that was a little bit edgy, and so that's kind of where the horror thing comes from. I don't know what I'm going to draw yet, but you know, imagine if we could draw like Hannibal Lecter, or you know, one of the another character that looks a bit, you know, a cartoon version of a horror character. I don't know. Yeah, zombies. I love the zombies as well. Like I say, zombies, make a mistake on a zombie, it usually looks better. There's and again, that's that kind of feel-good factor. You know, if you're drawing something that's meant to look like Homer Simpson, and all of a sudden you put that massive lump on it, an accidental lump on it, you're kind of disappointed. Where if it was a zombie, then it looks okay. Maybe zombie versions of The Simpsons. Now we're onto something, I think. Wow, I just smudged that. Did you see that? Any of you lot that kind of do Posca work, you'll know that feeling of when you're drawing and all of a sudden you can feel something wet under your hand, and it's not the dog. So a little smudge in there. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it. It's pointing at me, bothering me. I thought you meant space, not a gap in the schedule. I see what you mean. Yeah, so I do. I've done a few sci-fi weeks, but yeah, maybe we can draw space. Do some like planets and rockets and stuff. That's a good idea. Maybe that's what I'll put in that October. No, I really like the idea of zombie Simpsons. In fact, I might just write that in there now. Let's take that out. Call it Zombie Simpsons. Sorry, Vortical, you're going to have to wait until October for that. I feel like we've done sci-fi recently, haven't we? In space. Maybe not. Well, we've not done it this year, so maybe that can go in there. Oh, we did 4th of July, didn't we? So we did Star Wars stuff. Let's do space in November. Space. Nice. Couple more slots left for the end of the year, and then that'll be it. Bob Ross style, mate. Brought up on Bob Ross, I was. Have you seen the new movie yet? Did you see who's playing Bob Ross in the new movie? It's crazy. Owen Wilson is playing Bob Ross. Just made no sense. Then I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, he's perfect. He does a great job. There's the smudge lump. Just there. I'm not going to get too bothered about it. Let's give this fella down here, it looks a little bit plain on its own. This is what I do, look. You get to a point where you think, okay, sketchbook finished, or page finished anyway. This character, you know, what looks a bit weird. This one looks a bit weird, a little bit boring, so I'm just going to put a little heart in. Limited palette, just sticking with the same colours that I've got. Always looks nice with a limited palette. Cute. Made your life hard by myself. Some pro markers from the Amazon sale to start trying the colour club lessons. Vortical, you and Chris need to talk to each other, because Chris has just bought himself some I don't know if it's pro markers or the Spectrum Noir pens, but he got himself some alcohol markers as well, and just did I think the unicorn one. Just did the unicorn one, and yeah, he's not regretting it, but wishes he had more pens. But you know, just use whatever pens you've got. This is what I always say. You know, you don't have to have the same colours as me. Just go for something crazy. So, you know, if you've only got reds and blues, then do a unicorn in reds and blues, or do a koala bear in reds and blues. It doesn't matter. We did a donut the other day, and the only colours we had were blue and green, so we did a blue and green donut. It doesn't have to be like that kind of apricot-y, doughy colour and bright pink. can be anything. But yeah, good luck with the Colour Club, mate. So my recommendation for Colour Club, two things to get you started. Once you've got yourself a bunch of pens, yeah. One is to get some cheap photocopier paper, because photocopier paper bleeds like anything. So as you're colouring in with the pro markers, it is going to kind of bleed a little bit, get a little bit bigger, but it's also, when you then add a second colour in it, because that's what I mainly teach, is how to take two colours and blend them together to get like shape. When you add that second colour, because it bleeds, it helps it blend it through a lot better. And because it's cheaper, it doesn't matter if you screw it up, because then you can literally just screw it up, chuck it away. So you've got that, yeah, it's just cheap copier paper. That's why I put the black outlines on last in Pro Marker and when I do Colour Club, because you don't know how big your character's going to get based on how much it bleeds. Normally, if you were drawing with Pro Markers and fine liners, you'd draw the black outline first, then colour it in afterwards. But yeah, I kind of do it a slightly different way around. I have, though, and I was going to message you about this as well, Chris, this is the paper that I use now. So practice with that photocopier paper, because it's cheap, you know, a couple hundred sheets for a few quid. But then this is the pad that Spectrum Noir sent me, and I'm really getting on well with it. So it enables you to blend for ages afterwards, but doesn't let the ink kind of bleed all over the place, so it doesn't expand. But yeah, you can just keep on working the ink for what feels like ages. I mean, it's probably only like a minute, but it just feels like ages. So let's have a little flick through of what I've done. This is the kind of effects you can get. As much as I love teaching with paint markers are great, because if you make a mistake, you wait for it to dry, you can cover it over. I love teaching with paint markers, but Colour Club is pretty cool as well. So let's just zoom out a little bit. There we go, so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, Colour Club is all about like pro markers, alcohol markers. I use Spectrum Noir Illustrator pens now. They've got a brush nib, which is, you know, I was always a little bit worried about a floppy nib. They're a little bit difficult to kind of control, but I'm kind of enjoying mine now. It's 1 o'clock. I've really got to go. Chucky would be a cool as a cartoon character. Yeah. I'll look at that for the horror week. Vortical, try some of that. Yeah. Let's just have a quick look through then. So yeah, Spectrum Noir, they sent me a message saying, could you do some work for us? We'll send you a bunch of pens in return. So they sent me loads of pens, and I did this and created a reel. So if you have a look on their page, you'll see a reel of how this was drawn. And I did this the traditional way of kind of black outlines first, colour it in afterwards. But yeah, usually what I do is I'll do it the opposite way around, where I pencil it in, colour it in, and then depending on where the colouring, you know, I might go out the lines a little bit of the pencil, so I just make sure the black lines are just right. But yeah, look at these. You can get all these like fades in with these pens. Look at this one. I'm going to have to probably zoom in a little bit now, aren't I? But look at that. It just kind of fades from this like yellowy colour at the top into a green, and then a much darker green down here. Look at the inner ear as well, the way it kind of fades from that darker colour to the lighter colour. I love that kind of stuff. These kind of fades that you can get with felted pens, essentially. Look at that. Dead fish. What other workshop teaches you how to draw dead fish? This was done by, inspired by the work of an artist called Things by Diana. So we kind of put the colour on first underneath, and then put the black over the top. So we didn't colour each one of those individually. It was just a big rainbow of colour that was all blended into each other. That's the horse, the cattle unicorn that Chris has just drawn. This is my version of it. Yours looks pretty similar, Chris. I think... Oh yeah, you were saying about the blender pen. You need a blender pen to kind of go to white, don't you? So I get where you're coming from with that. Slice of pizza, look at that. I really enjoyed doing that. That was from Drip Week. But just look at that shading, the little bit of orange underneath there. Look at the pizza dough there, how it's just a bit darker under there. And then that's what I did the other day. I'm not too hot on this one. Didn't really work out quite as nice and neat as I wanted it to. But you know, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Okay guys, that's it. I'm gonna have to go because I've got to head over to my studio in Peterborough and do a few jobs over there. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Just a quick reminder, if you want to support what I'm doing, just head over to the link on below the video, below the live, the Ko-fi link. Two things you'll get from that. One is you'll get access to, if you depending on what kind of a member you become, you'll get access to 20 new video tutorials, exclusive video tutorials showing you how to draw this kind of stuff every month. If you're struggling with that, then there's a £1 a month option, which is dirt cheap, just keeps you involved in the community, gives you some like free workshops every now and then, but also gives you the opportunity to win that like art bundle. And so in this month's art bundle is that sketchbook. So this one, yeah, this sketchbook is what you could win, and I'll chuck in loads of other things as well as the month goes on. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, you lot. Cheers Vortical, cheers Chris, cheers Benji. I'm going to shoot off now, so I'll see you next time. Alright, cheers guys, take care.